It was a crisp autumn evening when Sarah decided to take a shortcut home after a long day of hiking. She had been exploring the old Mill Creek woods, a place that had always intrigued her, but also given her a sense of unease. But that evening, it felt different, quieter, more still. Just my imagination, she muttered to herself, brushing off the nagging sense of discomfort. The narrow path crunched under her boots, the fallen leaves rustling softly with each step. The sun had already dipped behind the trees, leaving a dim, shadowy atmosphere. As she walked deeper into the woods, Sarah felt a strange sensation, like she was being watched. She shook it off, blaming it on the eerie silence. A sudden rustling behind her made her stop in her tracks. She turned around quickly, but the woods were empty. No birds, no wind, just silence. Sarah took a deep breath and pressed on, but then she saw her, a young girl, no older than 10, standing in the middle of the trail ahead of her. Her white dress fluttered softly in the faint breeze, and her hair was long and dark, hanging straight down her back. She wasn't moving, just standing there, staring. Sarah hesitated, her pulse quickening. "Hey, are you okay?" she called out, her voice echoing through the stillness. The girl didn't respond. She just stood there, motionless. Sarah swallowed hard. There was something off about her, something wrong. Her skin was pale, almost sickly, and her eyes, they were completely black. No whites, no pupils, just dark, empty voids. A cold shiver ran down Sarah's spine. "I should go," she whispered to herself, slowly stepping backward. Then the girl spoke. "Help me," she whispered, her voice barely audible, yet it carried through the woods like a ghostly echo. Sarah froze in place, her heart hammering in her chest. She took another step back, and the girl took a step forward. "Nope," Sarah muttered, turning on her heel and breaking into a run. But the soft padding of footsteps followed her. She glanced over her shoulder and saw the girl was following her, walking slowly but steadily. Her dark eyes locked onto Sarah. The path seemed to stretch endlessly, as if the woods were trapping her, pulling her deeper. Sarah tried to scream, but the words stuck in her throat, the air thick and suffocated. Then she heard it, a faint, echoing giggle. Sarah's breath caught in her chest. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw shadowy figures emerging from the trees. More children, all with the same hollow black eyes, all staring at her. She forced herself to run faster, her legs burning with exhaustion, but the woods seemed to close in around her, branches clawing at her clothes and hair. The laughter grew louder, surrounding her. Finally, she burst through the edge of the woods, stumbling onto the empty street under the glow of a streetlight. She dared to look back. The figures were gone, but the girl was still there, standing just at the tree line, her black eyes watching. Sarah staggered home, locking the door behind her and collapsing onto the floor, gasping for breath. The next morning, she told her parents what had happened, but they only exchanged wary glances. They had heard the stories, the legends of the black-eyed children who haunted those woods, searching for anyone who would listen to their cries for help. Sarah tried to shake it off as a nightmare, but when she checked her phone later, her blood ran cold. Among her photos from the hike was one she didn't remember taking, a picture of the girl standing behind her in the woods, black eyes staring straight into the camera. From that night on, Sarah never took that shortcut again.